New Japan Cup 2020, or as I like to call it, the New Japan COVID Cup, is almost here, just around the corner, as the New Japan Pro Wrestling is back. Goddamn coronavirus! After 4 months, we have returned with New Japan Pro Wrestling action, as we're redoing the New Japan Cup. What would have been as back in March, obviously, was supposed to be the regular New Japan Cup, as that quickly was nipped in the bud thanks to COVID. As if someone was smart, someone would do a TW series starting with that actual New Japan Cup. But out of the original 16 matches that were in that lineup of the New Japan Cup, 6 of them have made it to this one, as with the travel bans throughout the world, almost no gaijins except for Gabriel Kidd and Zack Sabre Jr. They must have stayed in Japan, as throughout the COVID running rampant throughout the world. So that's why they're in this still. As we still gonna get Zack Sabre Jr. Kota Ibushi, so that's kind of crazy that we still get that. As the winner of this, which will be at July 11th, they are going to go on to Dominion, which is going to be the next night, July 12th, to take on Tetsuya Naito for an IWGP Heavyweight title matchup. This is going to be interesting, because now, if everything goes well, if your fingers fucking crossed here, people, if COVID ramps back up, or which I don't think it will, but you never know. If after the lockdowns, bans are kind of lifted throughout the world, and it kind of gets worse, and we go back into lockdown, we go back into quarantine, we're gonna miss out on the G1. But if not, presumably after this New Japan Cup, because it'll be July 12th, usually that's around when the G1's starting up. So who knows though? Who knows? Obviously, with this, the crowds are going to be probably very minimal. I know there's been a couple of independent Japanese promotions that have been doing social distancing, like everyone in the crowd's at least 6 feet apart from each other. We might see that here. We might see a dense crowd. Who knows? This has just been New Japan's been very proactive. There's been companies like All Japan and Noah that have ran shows with no crowd, and they were just like, we're gonna wait until we can have an audience, which I can imagine how cost productive that is. I mean, this has been the first time since at least fucking 1972 where New Japan has not had a show run in the month of March, April, and May. Like, it's crazy that it's something that's been such a well-oiled machine throughout the world is now just simply not there. It's just interesting to see. For you could look at it like a positive and a negative. Obviously, a negative not having any New Japan product out there for 3 months, but on the other hand, it gives the guys a much needed break. That they've been, for a lot of these guys, the Yuji Nagatas, the Tomoya Akayamas, the Tomohiro Ishis, those, Togi Makabes, guys that have, in Hiroshi Tanahashi, the veterans in there that have been just going at it for fucking 20 plus years now. They get a break, which that's a way well-deserved break. We'll see what happens then when they come back, though. 3 months from not taking a bump, that's a long-ass time. That first bump coming back is going to definitely hurt. That's going to be the worst bump they'll feel since the first time they took a bump. And for a lot of those guys, having been gone for so long, we'll see what happens there. Obviously, there's going to be some people, i.e. Toru Yano, who are not going to be affected by this, who can still work their same style, even 3 months off. But, this is going to be interesting, to say the least. Especially with this lineup. There's some lineups where it's like, oh, that's still going to be fucking awesome. There's some, obviously, with kind of the restrictions and whatnot, and kind of the workarounds. Little We'll start this first night, as the first 4 first round matchups are going to be on the 16th, the 17th, the 22nd, and 23rd. So a bit of a break from the 17th and the 22nd, but then we're going to be running rampant with the first and the second. Basically, once we get to that, it's going to be both the kind of quarterfinals and then the fucking semifinals are going to be on the 3rd. Then we wait a whole lot longer, getting some more, 7-8 days before the finals of the Osaka Joe Hall show, the finals, which is going to be back-to-back Osaka Joe Hall shows. That's going to be interesting. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more other stuff on that July 11th card as well. It's going to be like title matches and whatnot to kind of beef up that card some more. Hopefully the travel ban gets lifted, but if it's not safe, though, it's kind of where we are. I kind of hope it stays kind of locked down for the safety of people. As for the first round, we have Togi Makabe versus Yota Tsuji, Tomohiro Ishii versus El Desperado, Toru Yano versus Jado, and Tomoaki Akiyama versus Romu Takahashi. As this was going to be Makabe Jeff Cobb. That'd been interesting. We'd ever get Togi Makabe versus Yota Tsuji. Obviously, Togi Makabe taking on the young lion. Togi Makabe's probably going to win. As then for Tomohiro Ishii and El Desperado, Ishii's going to win. I think Ishii was going to have a long run before the COVID, and I think now, afterwards, it's really set up for him to have a long run as well. So him and Makabe in the second round, I like that. That sounds really good. As then Toru Yano and Jado. I'm assuming Yano's going to get the win. That would be quite the bummer if Jado wins, but Yano getting a win makes sense there. As then the match I'm probably the most looking forward to out of these first four matches here in the first round. Tomoaki Akiyama versus Romu Takahashi. This is such a New Japan COVID Cup, as I'm going to call it, happening. This is the first time this has happened in the singles match between Tomoaki Akiyama and Romu Takahashi. This is very, very unique here, as two of them just polar opposite people going at it here. Romu Takahashi, it kind of sucks that we didn't get to see Romu Takahashi, Tetsuya Naito. Maybe they'll do that again down the line. That would have been a lot of fun to see. He could win the New Japan Cup here, and they could have that match. But that'd be pretty fucking awesome, though. 'Cause especially this bracket, you have a lot of you have Makabe, you got Ishii and Hama, kind of like the never openweight division. They have Hiromu in there. They got Yano in there. Yano and Hiromu is going to be fucking awesome. If that's what I'm assuming here. We're going to go with Hiromu Takahashi getting the win, but I guess you never know. But Hiromu Takahashi, Yano, that's going to be a lot of fun for the second round. Then you have the quarterfinals from this bracket. It's either going to be Ishii and, Hiromu, which that's fucking crazy. That's something that you'll never see one-on-one besides here in the New Japan Cup. Unless, once Hiromu steps up into the heavyweight scene in the G1. But this is a lot of interesting stuff with Hiromu Takahashi being in this side of these four matches. But obviously the first round, on this side at least, these first four matches, not the best, not something I'm really looking forward to. But that last match though, Hanma and Hiromu, it's got me intrigued to say the least. Obviously a lot of them is pretty one-sided, but that's what happens. As the second night, the 17th. We have Kazuchika Okada versus Geto instead of Kazuchika Okada versus Jay White, obviously with the travel ban. So it makes sense, at least. We're getting Okada and Geto. Yuji Nagata, Minoru Suzuki, that was a match that that was scheduled to happen on the first go-around of the New Japan Cup. So that's nice to see there. As Yui Uemura taking on Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Then Gabriel Kidd versus Taiji Shimori. So out of this, Yuji Nagata, Minoru Suzuki, probably the match I'm most excited to see on this side. This is, it's a little, it's about the same. It's honestly about the same as the previous night. As you have the one match I'm kind of looking forward to, and the other three are Okada and Geto. At least you have the history, you have the story there, so that makes sense there. And Kanemaru's gonna win, and then Ishimori's gonna win, beating the Young Lion. So then you're gonna have Yoshinobu Kanemaru and Taiji Shimori. That could be fun, depending on how they do that. This is just Pro Wrestling Noah Jr. match right there in the New Japan Cup in the second round. Then Okada and whoever wins out of that Yuji Nagata Minoru Suzuki match in the second round. The second round's when it starts to get like we're gonna get going with this New Japan Cup. It's just what I'm really thinking here. As then we gotta go away from these kind of little mini graphics, as because we're kind of so far in advance. We're gonna have the 22nd and 23rd, but we figured to get this all down in one video here, so we don't have to split up into a lot. As the 22nd, we have, which relatively stays the same, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Taichi, Kota Ibushi versus Zack Sabre Jr., Ryusuke Taguchi and Sonata, and then Sho and Shingo, which Taguchi replaces Mikey Nichols and Sho replaces Will Ospreay, which, if you're gonna replace Will Ospreay and Shingo Takagi in the first round, might as well be fucking Sho. Out of these first round matchups, these first 4 nights, this is the best night for sure. You're gonna have Ibushi, Zack Sabre Jr., which of course at this point I'm not really the most excited for. It's happened so much now. It's still gonna be a good match. Don't get me wrong, but I'm really excited to see Hiroshi Tanahashi and Taichi and Shingo and Sho. Let alone, I'm very intrigued by Ryusuke Taguchi and Sonata. I think that could be a really good match. If it all goes well, I think that could be a really, really fun match. They could have the same kind of style, in a way. They kind of work the same, but Taguchi is a little bit on the comedy junior side. But it's still going to be a fun match. Obviously, you have this, from what I remember, I would love to see a Taichi upset. I think that'd be a lot of fucking fun. Taichi getting an upset against Tanahashi. I talked about that at the first New Japan Cup video way back when in March. I'm still with that. I think that'd be a fun-ass upset, especially now where there's not going to be so many upsets, I think. I think a lot of them are going to be pretty set in stone. That would be a fun-ass upset. It's Kota Ibushi and Zack Sabre Jr. Yeah, I'm going to go with Ibushi. Ibushi, Taichi, that'd be a lot of fun. And then Taguchi and Sonata, I'm still going to go with Sonata and Shingo as the next in the second round. So we're going to have a Bullet Club versus Bullet Club match. And then we're going to have a LIJ match in this part of the second round. So that'll be a lot of fun. As, Shingo Ibushi quarterfinals. Sounds pretty sick. Even Sonata Ibushi quarterfinals I'd be pretty okay with. But I'm really excited to see that part of the day, that first round, the 22nd. June. Can't wait. That's going to be a lot of fun. As Tenzan versus Yoshihashi, which that was a match that's from the original lineup. Yo and Bushi, Satoshi Kojima and Evil, another one that was part of the original lineup. And Hiroki Goto and Yujiro Takahashi, again, another part of the original lineup here. So this is pretty much the same like the previous first night show. Pretty much everything's the same but the Yo Bushi match. As, Yoshihashi versus Tenzan could really go either way. Yoshihashi's more of the active regular roster, where Tenzan is rather a part of the old guard, so I could see him beating Tenzan, Yoshihashi, and advancing to the second round. Yo and Bushi, it'd be fun to have Yo versus Yoshihashi, just to kind of keep it going there. But Bushi could win, obviously, a junior match, pretty much Yo and Bushi. This could be fun, though. This could be, if they give it time and all goes well, this could be a really good match. This could be the best match of this side of the first round. These last four matches, rather, of the first round. As then Satoshi Kojima and Evil. Evil's going to win there, and they're going to have Evil and Goto in the second round, which I think Hiroki Goto is going to beat Yujiro Takahashi, which, again, that's a great second round matchup, Evil and Goto. So then you're going to have, presumably, Yoshihashi and Evil, or Goto, depending on who wins that, in the quarterfinals, which out of the quarterfinals matches, with Yoshihashi being there, it's kind of like But we're going to get to the greener and better pastures, because, that's semifinals. It's either going to be Shingo and Goto or Evil, or it's going to be Ibushi, Evil and Goto, which that'd be pretty fucking awesome. Especially these months, we'll see what happens. I think there's a lot of people in this roster that have been raring to go in these 3 months. A lot of ideas have been spinning. There's going to be some guys that styles might change. I know Will Ospreay was saying that he's up to 227 pounds now, thanks to this quarantine, just being inside, eating food all day. There's going to be some guys that might be a little bigger than what we remembered before this quarantine, so that's going to be fun. Some styles might change. We'll see, though. We'll see. I think a lot of these guys that are on this New Japan Cup right now, they're going to stay the same. Like Ibushi, he cut a little promo a couple days ago for the New Japan YouTube channel, and he looked pretty much the same. He wasn't jacked, or he didn't get fat or anything. That'd be crazy, though. Kota Ibushi just eating everything in sight for quarantine for 3 months and comes back at 250 pounds. But As far as what the actual New Japan Cup, the finals, and how it's going to go, my original pick, for those who don't remember, was Tomohiro Ishii versus Evil in the finals, with Evil winning. That could still happen. That could very well still happen. There's a lot of things. Yeah, Okada being at the bottom left there with Minoru Suzuki and Yuji Nagata, he's pretty much like destined to do well. But now with Ishii, the Hiromu Takahashi factor really throws a fucking wrench in those plans. Because I would love to see Hiromu Takahashi Kazuchika Okada. That'd be fucking awesome. Like, that would be complete. Like, I don't know who would work whose style. I'm assuming Tanahashi would have to work Okada's style, kind of a slow, kind of heavyweight kind of style. Because there's no fucking way Okada could keep up with Hiromu doing like the junior style. There's just no fucking way. He'd be blown the fuck. That'd be crazy though if he could. Holy shit, base god Kazuchika Okada just basing for everything the Hiromu Takahashi does. That'd be sick. But I just don't think it's gonna happen. I think Okada would kind of be like, we're gonna slow down. We're gonna work a kind of heavyweight main event style. There's some interesting matchups for sure. Even in the first round, the Taichi Tanahashi match is gonna be a lot of fun. Obviously, Sho Shingo, Ibushi, Zack Sabre Jr. There is some Minoru Suzuki, Yuji Nagata. There's some fun first round matchups. Really, when the second round happens, that's when everything's gonna start to get to rolling, and there's going to be some great matches and whatnot throughout this cup. Even with COVID, this cup is still just as good. Obviously, the first lineup was a little bit better, but I think it's still going to get the point across. I think the guys that were supposed to win. Obviously, it comes down to Ospreay Shingo. If Ospreay was going to lose in the first round, then nothing big would have changed. But if he was supposed to beat Shingo and go on a long run, that definitely sucks for Ospreay. But there's always next year. That's really the biggest guy, I think, that compared to the Gaijins who are not on this list. Him and Jay White, which Jay White could have lost to Okada as well in the first round. He could have beat Okada in the first round. You never know. That's the same thing, It's always next year. Jay White's done plenty. He was the fucking main event of the G1 Climax last year. He's going to be fine. So that will do it for my New Japan COVID Cup preview, if you will, of what's going to happen. Exciting times. New Japan's back, thank God. As we'll catch you guys after the first round for my review of the first round. Take care, everybody.